Hi, I'm Tori, and welcome to your masterclass to come back into balance with who you truly are. Back into balance with your mind, your body, your soul, and even your heart. I'm so honored that you've taken the time to watch this video with me, and I'm so pleased that it was drawn to you to Hi, I'm Tori, and this is your masterclass to come back into balance with who you truly are, to find your purpose in life again. Coming back into balance with your mind, your body, your soul, and your heart. I'm so honored and pleased that you've taken the time to watch this video, and I'm really happy that you were drawn to it. I'll be with you for the next half an hour or 40 minutes, and hopefully you'll take away some really good, amazing tips to start implementing today to come back into balance with who you are. So, who is this masterclass for? Now, if you're struggling with the control of emotions like depression, anxiety, panic attacks, trauma, loss, grief, all of these things will really work and start to lessen when you come back into balance with who you are. Now, it's also a really good path to start going down if you are feeling lost in this world, if you don't really know who you are, if you are, if you used to love your life and used to be on a good path, but now you're just a little bit like, no, I've taken a wrong turn somewhere. If you keep giving your power away, if you keep living the same patterns and again that aren't very helpful, these again would be really good tools to start to use to bring you back into balance and to start to be aware of where these things are coming from and to start to heal them. Now, at the end of this video, there is an offer that's especially for people that watch this masterclass. It's not a pushy sales offer. I really don't work that way. I work on the basis of whoever is ready to do the work will step up and reach out. I don't want to be working with people that are not ready. I don't want to push anybody into it if their mind is not committed to it, if their body isn't committed, okay? So stay tuned if you are interested in the offer. It's going to be exclusively for this masterclass, and the offer I'm going to be offering you will start in March. So the program is going to be a lifelong program, but the actual opening date will be March. So a little bit of background on me, okay? Now all the clients I have worked with have been really attracted to the way that I work, not just because of my training, but because of my experience in life as well. So just a very short snippet of that. I'll try and make it as relatable as possible. And if this is speaking to you, then please, please, please think about reaching out. And if I don't feel like the right person to work with, then please find somebody else, because I really understand how difficult life can be when you're struggling with emotions, with life in general. But I also know how amazing it can be once you transform that. So my background was very much coming from a place of a huge amount of change all the time, changing area, changing friends, family changes, a lack of nurturing. I didn't get that much nurturing when I was younger, for many different reasons, and I was left to my own devices quite a lot just to get on with things. Had a whole second family, so my dad remarried. Stepsisters, half brother, half sister. Then I got moved around to probably like 10 different schools before I got sent to boarding school. And I probably had lived in about 15 different houses by that point as well. So a huge amount of change, a huge amount of loss as well, because a lot of the times that we moved, I wasn't able to say goodbye to my friends that I had made in that area. So that was quite difficult. And at a certain age, I ended up putting up my guard. Um, so with all these things, now it can affect us in so many different ways as humans, can't it? Our protectors are very different at handling the same situation. Um, so I became very close. I became very, I had lots of friends, lots of different groups, but not allowing them to get too close. And then I would push people away if they did get a bit too close. And then as I got a little bit older, boarding school age, I found everything really quite difficult, and I didn't like the feeling of being here. So I ended up trying to find these things to take me away. Now, you might be able to relate to this, distractions. Now, what do you use as a distraction? Or what did you use if you don't anymore? I reached for drugs, for alcohol, for a huge amount of like television, for going out and putting myself in quite dangerous situations to feel that adrenaline in my body. You know, even down to like going on the biggest and the most scariest roller coaster. But I did that quite frequently. I would go on these trips and be walking around at night when I'm under the influence of something because I wanted to feel that danger. And all of that took me away from here, took me away from my feelings, my emotions. I didn't need to go inside if I was not allowing myself, distracting myself. So with that comes a lot of different friends. Obviously, leaving boarding school again, a change of friends, a different area, building up again. But I was probably even worse than I was at boarding school after I had left. I would date a lot of people because I knew that I wanted this connection and this love in life, but I just couldn't find it. I mean, how do you know how to love or how to show it if you weren't shown it? Or if you were shown it in really unhelpful ways. Like some people show their love with shouting and arguments or, you know, cooking, but they don't hug you and nurture you. Parents will only be able to show what they can with the way that they've been shown it unless they do the work. So pushing people away, lots of different boyfriends, wanting to fill this void. So even using other things to fill the void. Then I got to a point where I kind of realized that either I'm going to carry on down this path, keep making myself really ill with alcohol and with drugs and finding myself in ridiculous situations and waking up in the morning and not knowing whose room I was in or what happened last night. I started to go down a path of doing yoga, and I did a counselling diploma and a more spiritual counselling diploma as well. And that was a really good basis for me. I needed that at that time to really open up my senses again, because I used to be quite sensitive to everything when I was younger. And then that started to numb when I took the distractions I took. So here starts probably like a 7-year journey of I know that I'm ready to change, but my mind won't let me, or I wasn't quite ready to feel and deal with everything that was going on inside. So I would dip in and out, and I would stop things for a while, and then I would come back to them and stop things for a while, get back into my yoga, get back into my counselling for myself and my spirituality, and then I would get back into things. And I went traveling for a while, which was great, but then there was a huge amount of issues around that as well. With a boyfriend I left in England, my best friend becoming too close to my boyfriend, and then like not turning up for Skype calls and things like that. So my boyfriend basically forgetting about me. Now this is a cycle, a pattern that I had lived over and over again. And then you start to realize, okay, well, I must be attracting this. My behavior, my way of thinking must be doing something to attract it. I don't know if you have ever had the same thing. Have a little think now. Is there a certain situation that you're like, I've done this again, it's just with a different person? Or, I'm just attracting the same situations again and again that are not helpful, that are very like emotionally draining and all encompassing with anger, or screaming and shouting and not communicating, or whatever it is. So this went on for a good 5 years or something, until I ended up having a breakdown. I think my mind was just like, I just can't do it anymore. So I always had like a baseline of depression and anxiety, and I found things difficult, but I got through it with the drugs and the alcohol. But then when I had that breakdown, I couldn't ignore it anymore. My depression was so bad, it knocked me off. I couldn't get out of bed. Sometimes I couldn't go to work. My anxiety is actually the same. Like sometimes I felt like there was a brick wall built outside the front door, so I couldn't leave. I was starting to have panic attacks if I did go out, or sometimes inside my house as well, if these emotions were getting too much. And the thoughts of not wanting to be here increased to really bad suicidal thoughts and making some plans. So my boyfriend at the time pushed me to go to the doctors because he was lost, didn't know what to do, and I don't blame him. I mean, it must have been quite difficult to deal with. So I went to the doctors, and if you had been in the same situation with needing to go to the doctors for a reason, for your mental health, then you would understand it's quite a long process. Like they give you a load of medication to take, and then they refer you to either counselling, CBT, or whatever it is. But there's a long waiting list, and you have to speak to like 5 or 6 different people before you speak to someone that's meant to help you. And you're almost re-traumatizing yourself every time because you have to talk about what's going on again. So I carried on like this for a couple of months, finally got my CBT and my counselling. I was on the medication, was going to work, but it wasn't always okay. Sometimes I would have panic attacks while I was driving, or, like about to go into a meeting and I really had to stop or like make excuses. And then I realized that this will be my life if I just carry on this medication and not get to the root of what was going on. This would be my life. Feeling a numb baseline of not having those suicidal thoughts, but also not having another range of emotions. If I wasn't going to come off these meds, this is how I was going to feel for a very long time. This is Oscar, by the way. So I ended up writing a load of stuff down and realizing what I needed to change in my world, which was the boyfriend who, as lovely as he could be at certain times, he was quite emotionally abusive and putting me down a lot, which I think contributed to my breakdown. Obviously, the drugs and alcohol was a big contributor. The stress of my job and needing to drive around a lot, because that was another sort of traumatic event a number of times in my life, a pattern, having car crashes. And living away from my friends, because I moved to a different area to be with this partner. So my closer friends were not close by, and some of my family weren't close by. So my biggest decision ever, give it all up, okay? Break up, move out, go back to my mum's. Now, I'd been saving up for a long time to buy a house because I knew that was one thing that I've always wanted, some roots down, to not be moved around any longer. And if I owned it, it will be my choice. So luckily enough, with a little bit of extra help, I had enough of a deposit to be able to buy my house. And I was still in the job that was very highly paid, which meant that I had more of a mortgage. So I stayed in that job for a little bit longer until my everything went and got approved and the mortgage was going through. And then I gave in my resignation. So I moved back to my mum's, bought the house, left the job, and in between that I was coming off the meds. Now I had actually forgotten my medication, maybe subconsciously, but it's what I needed. So when I actually went to my mum's, I didn't have it at all. So I got back into my meditation, my yoga, walking out in nature a lot, and a lot of journaling. I dug out all my old notes, but I realized that I needed to do this with somebody to get to the real root of it. You can do so much by yourself, you really can, but that extra little bit that really helps you dig deep and have those realizations is working with somebody else. So I paid for my own counseling, psychotherapy, and a lot of different holistic approaches. I found a job in a holistic center because I knew I wanted to start getting back into this work. But it was also not quite the right time. So I was a receptionist, and it meant I could have treatments as well. So super lucky for that, hey? And hence starts the journey of the real deep transformation. I started a 2-year shamanic training course, which is really like raw in the woods for 4 days every month for the summer months, digging a grave, sleeping in it all night, sitting out ceremony all night, fire ceremony, water ceremony, sweat lodges, psychic work, healing work, like being with the land and being with everybody else in community. And I also, because I wanted a more science approach, started a psychology diploma. My words just left me for a second. Psychology diploma, which I have now completed. So I now have all this amazing tools to be able to share with people all in one place. Because again, if you are one that has been looking for help for a while, you might realize that you have to go to like 10 different people to have 10 different modalities. And that can be, you do need a different way of working for different things going on. Like just talking about it won't work. Just meditating won't work. Just doing yoga won't work. Just doing EFT, just doing hypnotherapy, all of it, just doing energy healing and Reiki, that won't work by itself. These different layers need different ways, different modalities, different tools to help them come out. So my target and my dream, even while I was going through all this mental health stuff, was to come up with a way of putting it all in one place, to have access for one person to come and access it all. So this is what this is all about, okay? Now I hope you can relate to some of that. I hope that spoke to you, and I feel your pain if you're in these spaces and places. But the hope and the amazing good news is it can change. You can really start to transform your life in just a few sessions. Okay, all of my clients I have worked with on a 2 or 3 month basis have already seen changes within the first or the second session. Now, I'm not offering you a magic wand, okay? Just because that's working in the first 1 or 2 sessions doesn't mean that that's it. The work has to come from you. The exercises, the practices need to be integrated into your life. The more work that you put in for yourself, the quicker things are going to change. Somebody else can't do it for you. That support to be able to go deep needs to be there, and I really advise it to be there. But the magic of the end result is really comes from the work that you put in, the time that you dedicate to it. Okay, and it does take work. I mean, if you think about all of these years of conditioning that we've had, the really unhelpful conditioning, these beliefs that we've brought up, like built into us, and all of the information that we we take in from the environment to back up these beliefs, the thoughts that we are used to having. Now, all of this is ingrained in us and we need to change it. Now, it can be changed. It can with very simple tools, but it takes time and it takes work. So, are you ready for that? Okay. And if you are, you will find some amazing shifts and you'll be able to manifest a life that you've dreamt of and that person that you know that you are. And you can access this. And it's beautiful and magical. And this journey won't always be easy, but it will be worth it. So, what about these tools that you can start implementing now? I'm going to tell you and share 5 with you today, okay? So, the 5 tools to implement today to start coming back into balance with who you are. Excuse me. Right. Our first one and our most natural one is the breath. Yes, we breathe every single day to keep us alive. But how do we breathe? Do we notice where we breathe from? Do we notice how quickly we breathe? Do we notice how breath makes us feel or how it changes when our feelings change? Now, most people are walking through life not noticing. Okay, now if you look at a baby breathes from their belly. This is where our natural breath is from. And it's only when we start to take on stresses and responsibilities and anxieties and all of this stuff that we start to breathe from our chest. Normally quite shallow breaths as well. So just check in with yourself right now and think, where am I breathing from? Close your eyes. Just your natural breath. Where do you breathe from? Okay. Now, no matter where you just breathe from, I want you to keep your eyes closed and I want you to consciously breathe from your chest. Notice how that makes you feel. Notice how shallow the breath is. And how it actually makes your body feel quite tense. Okay, now I would like you to change your breath to the middle. So just below your rib cage. Consciously breathing from this area, noticing that the breath is a little bit more full, but it still feels a bit tense maybe in your body. There's lots of emotions coming up for me. Notice what's coming up for you. Okay, one more breath here. And lastly, still with your eyes closed, start to consciously breathe from your belly. Really notice how full your breath is. How this is hopefully instantly relaxing your body, your muscles, and slowing down your mind. Now, this is the breath that we want to bring into our everyday life, our belly breath. So my invitation to you is to spend a few minutes every day, longer if you can, breathing from your belly, noticing the rise and the fall. You can place your hand on there if you wish. You can lie on the floor with something a bit weighted on there, or you can just breathe from your belly. And really notice how that changes your day. Because it's already changed the way that I feel, so I hope you can feel the benefits. Now, the next one is writing. Writing things down gets it out of our mind. Okay, we hold so much in this mind, and it's an amazing mind, and it helps us do so much in this world, but it is only limited to the things that we are used to, because there's so many millions of things to take in every minute, every second, that our mind will only take in the things that we are used to taking in, the situations, the normalities that we've grown up with. So you're not able to take in anything new or change anything until you start to empty your mind and bring some more awareness into it. What it is also a really good thing to do with writing is to get to know like who you are or what you want in life. Okay, so starting to write down, what are your dreams? What relationships, what house, what job, what lifestyle do you want? What makes you feel happy and loved and calm and relaxed? Like, what do you do to be relaxed? Now, trying to stay away from the distracting things like television. Like, it's really good every now and again, if you're really into your movies or programs, to watch a couple, but to sit down and watch that for hours on end isn't that good. And although it might feel relaxing, your brain actually doesn't switch off. So try and think of more relaxing activities to do that are away from technology, like reading or writing, meditating, walking, having a shower, a bath, just lying on the sofa, like whatever that is. Try and think of something that isn't technology. So what really relaxes you? Start to think about the food as well. Like, what food do you eat that nourishes you? What makes you feel good when you've eaten it and gives you energy? What makes you feel not so good? Like, lots of refined sugars might give you an energy peak, but then you'll crash again. Start to be more aware of like your sleep pattern as well. Writing all this down. And you know what is a great practice as well as if you're overthinking a lot. If you're a big overthinker, then it's really good to take your journal, take your paper, and start to write whatever's coming into your mind. It doesn't matter if it doesn't make sense. It doesn't matter if it's one word. Just get it out on paper. The best time to do this is before bed as well. And try and set your timer to 2 to 5 minutes. And if you want to, you can get rid of the paper afterwards. It's fine. Burn it, bury it, bin it, recycle it. So then we go to body work. Have you ever moved your body? How it makes you feel good? Have you done yoga, but more improvisation yoga, like moving how you want to move? Dancing, qigong, somatic body work is just really seeing what feels good. And you can focus on an emotion and move like that. The more we get our body moving, the more we get that blood flowing, that energy flowing, and stop things being stagnant and stuck. I love working with clients with emotions, and then when a really deep one happens, then do some movement, even if it's just getting up and doing a bit of shaking, get that moving. So body work, and bring that awareness into what feels good, where feels good. How do you like to be touched, maybe? How do you like to move? Fast, slow? Where in your body feels nice when you stretch it? Ask yourself all of these questions to be aware. And also being aware of where it doesn't feel so good. Why doesn't it feel so good? Is there tension there? Where's that tension come from? Ask your body these questions. Nature is the next one. To coming back into balance with your body, you need to come back into balance with Mother Earth and nature, like where we came from. Mother Earth has been proven to be instantly to instantly de-stress you, to instantly make you feel more alive. Your breath is better. If you can find somewhere with trees, with the sea. I'm really sorry, my dog's just doing something. 1 second. No, thank you. Oscar was just biting my partner's jacket, and I don't think he would be that impressed. So nature, yeah, coming back into balance, like breathing in this clean air, the trees. Are you near a sea, a river, a lake? Like go visit these places, listen to the nature around, feel Mother Earth and how she's balanced. She's in balance all the time. You know, she releases in the winter when things aren't needed anymore and grows again in the summer. And we have the same things with us, possibly even every month, especially with our monthly cycles. We release every month and we grow new things every month. Okay, and really get back into balance with that. Do some tree hugging if you want. Go out and swim. I love open water swimming. I swim in the sea a lot. Try that. Try something you wouldn't have tried before. Maybe get on a bike or, you know, whatever it is. But if you are out on a bike, stop now and again and put your feet on the floor and really notice and take in what's around you, the smells, the sights, all the senses. So feeling the balance in Mother Earth and noticing that inside you. Can you get in touch with your womb as well? Yeah, this is where we hold so much creativity and releasing and our emotions, our life force is in our womb. Can you be in touch with that every month? And if you don't have a period anymore, you still have a cycle. What is that cycle? Like, when do you need to rest more? And when can you be more energized? Feel it, get to know that balance in you and work with them. And then lastly, number 5 is meditation. Now, meditation is really important to be able to start to have awareness over our lives, our bodies, but also to manifest things, to control our thoughts and our minds. Now, we can't ever stop our thoughts. That's not the point of meditation. Meditation is to quiet your mind so much that you're just thinking of one thing. Now, be that counting your breaths, be that one yummy thought that you really like, going somewhere that's relaxing to you and staying there. You know, be that spreading love around your body. Whatever that thought is, just stick to the one, and that is meditating. Now, you can also incorporate these things together. So you could do a mindfulness walk. You can meditate while you're walking, which is being so quiet. You're taking in all that's around you. You're noticing how you're stepping on the ground. With every step, how does it make you feel? Can you notice where your foot is stepping first? What does the ground feel like? You know, how is your breath being? What smells can you smell? Mindfulness walking, meditate while you walk. You can meditate while you run, you can meditate while you're knitting, like whatever it is, it's one focused thing, okay? But if you can and you have the time to do a seated meditation, start with 2 minutes and then build up from there. You don't want to do too much. Just start off very small and build up, build up. When you feel that 2 minutes is quite easy, add on a minute. And enjoy yourself from there, like really feel the benefits of all of these practices. Journal about them. What changes are coming up, what emotions are coming up. So these are some really amazing practices that you can put into your life today. I hope that you enjoy them. And if you have any questions about anything, please feel free to message me. I'm more than open to any questions and support I can give you. Now, if all of this resonates with you and you want to go more, you want to go deeper, and you're really ready to change your life, I've put together this amazing program. It's a 3-month program. It starts in March and it's supported all the way through. So you have online content like videos, meditations, and workbooks. You've got one-to-one sessions with me, and you have Tori in your pocket. So from 8 o'clock in the morning to 8 o'clock at night, you can reach out to me via email or WhatsApp, and I will reply to you. It might not be instant because I am doing other things and quite busy, but it will be pretty instant, within an hour or two maximum. If it is a real emergency and you need things straight away, then you can give me a call, and if I see your call, then I will call you back. And I think this is like an amazing opportunity as well to have that support. So when you're going through this work yourself online, bigger things might come up where you need to go a bit deeper with that support, and that's where our one-to-one sessions come in. I am a big believer in doing so much yourself. The more time you dedicate to this every day, the more you put it into your routine, the more things will happen. Okay, the clients I've worked with on a one-to-one basis has seen transformation within 2 or 3 months completely. Now, they're all aware that it's an ongoing journey, and when that time is over, there's still going to be things that come up and that they'll have to tackle, but they now have these amazing tools and this new balance in themselves to be able to approach things differently. And everybody that I've worked with walks away and feels confident about tackling life, the ups and downs, and what's going to come, and manifesting and creating and carrying on this creation of the life that they would like. So that's everything really. Yeah, online yummy material, videos, recorded meditations, workbooks, one-to-one sessions, and support throughout. And I promise you, if you're really put in the work, you will see amazing changes. And I love, love, love being there to see that journey, to share that journey with people. I just feel so honored and blessed. And it's so yummy to see people from the beginning to the end and how they do feel at the end. So I really hope that if this feels like what you want or need, that you reach out. And I will do all I can to answer all of your questions. Now, the thing that I ask, if you're interested, is to book a call with me. It's a free half an hour, 40-minute call. The reason that I ask that is to make sure that what you want to work with will work well with the program. Okay, and if it doesn't, then I will offer one-to-one support or signpost you to somebody else or to some other programs. You can book a call by jumping online. You can look at my website as well. There's a load of stuff on there. Or as I said, you can send me a message. So I really hope that you enjoyed this time with me. And I really hope that these tools that I just spoke about, you'll be able to implement some and start to come back into balance with yourself straight away. I really am honored that you've taken the time to watch this. And if you do want to book a call with me and you're wanting to go on the program, if you use Masterclass 20 as the code, then I will know that I can offer you this discount. Blessings. Have a lovely day, and I hope to speak to you soon.